It's cool, guys. Vera's not a murderer. She's just a forger. Hello. Welcome back to P-Storm. I am Pluvius Lilon, and today we're playing Apollo Justice. And when we last left off, previously we had believed Drew Misham was a forger. That was the fact of the case when we went into the trial. But things unfolded, and it turns out that he might not have been a forger, and that the real forger was in fact his daughter, the defendant. So we're gonna find out more about that. Okay, so where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically.
Huh? Well then, who was he?
Well, he was actually doing her nails. So he really made those forgeries?
Yes, for father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
Anything?
Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those
forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already, creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
So the one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time.
Wait, Vera. Just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright and Co. law offices. But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business... How pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham?
How am I supposed to know?
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. We know the victim's daughter Vera was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out.
Court is now back in session.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off.
Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How'd you set up this Drew Misham forger persona?
There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard? Aside from, like, the obvious.
Very well, miss, if you would. While Mr. Justice keeps it in his pants, did you really make those detestable forgeries?
Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that? Were you the one who painted that painting, the remarkably similar one? Yes. Sorry, I painted it. Yes, I was drinking water, but my straw was like all the way at the bottom of my cup, so I had to like pull it up with my teeth because like no water was coming through it. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So she was the one who made the forgeries?
Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You've seen this before, yeah? Yes. It was in the desk drawer.
Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope.
I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well. Please begin the cross-examination.
Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham.
Something I found out recently that may tie into why I struggle with the judge's voice so much lately is, yeah, when you consistently speak in a higher or lower tone, like a higher or lower pitch than normal, that like adapts your throat muscles so that your natural voice changes over time, and I guess with it your vocal range, because you know my natural voice sounds like this. I don't like using it. I only use this voice for Phoenix. But when I'm VTubing, I go a little higher because you know I don't really like to talk about this. I don't really mind presenting as male offline. But yeah, when I'm VTubing, I just don't feel comfortable speaking in my natural voice unless it's for a character. So yeah, like all these years of speaking in this voice, I guess, has kind of like phased out the deeper voices, which is gonna really suck when I get to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 for certain reasons. But anyway, on to the testimony. But yeah, like, even just for, you know, this game, I have to, like, warm up before I can do the judge's voice. And get that
gravel in it.
So these things you're making are... You mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing. She had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please, tell us more about that envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
All right.
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance,
a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left on a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all.
And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. Sorry, I accidentally one of the zeros. The beginnings of a new industry for Drew Misham.
A new industry?
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words.
Uh-oh. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used?
I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world.
Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Father signed them and sent them back, I believe.
Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp.
This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought.
What do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atroquinine.
A moment, Air Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp?
Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Oh, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
So you didn't know about the poison? I guess not.
So the trap failed by chance, by mistake. Thanks to the commemorative stamp.
Quite the close call.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes. We saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Misham. You did the work and he supplied the face.
So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in.
Apparently not.
About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty, and more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new.
Yeah, rock on! Apparently we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
Magicians?
I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat.
You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she said? Magic troupe? Now, where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client. Whoever wanted a forgery made.
Apollo.
We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope, and the path it took to take Drew Misham's life.
No, what are you doing? Alright, present. Present. There we go.
Those magicians you liked, was it this bunch? See, I'm holding the ticket in my hand.
Apollo, they're not a bunch.
I see. Still, I have to wonder. Valiant Grammari is yellow like a banana, so you could call him a bunch on his own, though I have never seen any pink or blue bananas. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question.
Well, pretty stamps are always better. You can't beat Troop Grammari.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think, Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin?
Grammari.
What's with Gavin?
Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please, tell me. What exactly did you make? Can I ask why? No. Answer the question. Now. Eek!
Prosecutor Gavin? You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me.
Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know. Please, Miss Misham, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book. Like a diary. No! I don't... No! What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Misham, this book... Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no?
How did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her.
He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor, nothing?
Sullied who?
Phoenix Wright, who else?
Daddy?
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago. About how he came to lose his attorney's badge. It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back it bore the mark of a silk hat.
What? Phoenix Wright? Tossed out of the profession by false evidence? And the forger who made that evidence? Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it?
We only met once.
You met the client? Well, who was it?
It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, what? Is there something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book. The diary.
Who was it? Vera!
The devil. Defendant Vera Misham. Condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis acute atroquinine poisoning. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She's currently in intensive care, is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that was where it must go. And that is where it must go. To find the whole truth. Wow. This is the first time we've reached the end of a chapter and not ended the episode immediately. I think maybe in the whole series.
Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time, and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, seems I found the partner I was looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met, 7 years ago.
7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. Man. The defendant lobby looked so much more colorful back then. Okay. It's been a long time since I've felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Good morning, Mr. Enigmar.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared.
I understand I'm asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
That was enough.
Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Oh, morning, Daddy.
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
I'm fine as always. This old boy's here to help me, after all.
That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all.
No, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? Oh, old boy. Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later.
Well, how do you feel about the trial today?
We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy here.
Ah, an easy win then, yes?
They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year.
The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it's a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So you do your best, but do not worry.
First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can.
I see you do not understand. You see, it'll be impossible for them to declare a verdict.
Impossible?
Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I'm in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
My client is Shadi Enigmar, known to the world as Zach Grammari, a wildly popular magician, star of Troupe Grammari. His mentor, Magnifi Grammari, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, until he was shot dead. Zach Grammari is the suspect.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shadi Enigmar.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts, the spaghetti arms? A Gavinner's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who were you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, huh?
Gavin? Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin's...
Figures my bros got more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy.
NANI?!
True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up, Herr Attorney Wright.
Perhaps you'd be so kind as to fill us in on the case.
Achtung, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. His sprite is so ugly. And you are?
Hey, you're the one who called me up here, sir.
Like, compare this to his sprite from the Phoenix Wright trilogy. It looked so clean and crisp there. Here, it just looks like someone traced that.
Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see.
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony? You're a detective. This is my stage. Can the antics.
Huh?
All this hey youing and such. And I could care less about your history together.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back in a room in the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim Magnifi was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammari has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A malignant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
A malignant tumor, perhaps.
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. Right when he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
I believe the question before us is clear, then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, Detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Actually, the victim kinda ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. The pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I've here the letter in question.
Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Oh, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil's in the details there, attorney.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour, starting at 11 o'clock, the victim, Magnifi Grammari, was given an IV. An IV?
There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed.
At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he'd come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's his reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all, just as he had commanded. It could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Fine. I can play it slow. I can play it slow as well as I can play it Okay, let me try again. Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. And this letter was sent by the victim?
There it is. Gotcha. You're all mine this time, pal.
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake.
I see.
Score one for the boys.
I didn't lose, I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death. Things aren't always what they used to be, I guess.
I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor.
So anyway, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking.
You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective.
First, we got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead, loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, Detective.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently.
Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar shot something else. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does this letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one on the forehead.
Oh? The defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What, you can prove it with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
The creepy-ass clown.
Come on!
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too.
There's a hole in its forehead.
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. Ha! And I suppose you have a reason why he'd shoot the clown doll. He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ugh. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead is it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole's going to get.
Detective Goatsy, I mean Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. Damn. Wait. Goddamn son of a bitch. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim?
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. What did the letter say? Let's see. To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I'll ready a gun with which you are to shoot. One shot, square in the forehead. Objection! Damn. I was thinking because Magnifi himself prepared the gun, he would have only put one bullet in it. Why are you so certain?
What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zach and Valent's quick draw shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialties. Zach and Valent stood on either side of a girl, then they shoot, but the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This is one of the pistols they use in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Many boys and girls join the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Troop Grandma, I stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny-looking gun, but so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did. The court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, this truly is a blast from the past. It was a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets. It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
That's what she said, pal. But it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces haven't been fired recently. So were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say the lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint on of its own.
Aha! Intriguing point. Well made.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not well made. Not intriguing.
In any case, the court accepts this evidence. My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
I gotcha now.
The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed a bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and...
did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. The pistol only holds one bullet at a time. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim, too.
Yarg!
That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. Nah, this party's just getting started, baby. Woo! I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales. Utter lack of humility.
Well, what's this? Seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, our detective was just a warm-up act. Ugh. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you'll find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gramerai who shot the victim in the forehead.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court is adjourned.
Wow. Went through 2 whole chapters in under an hour. Well, it's like things are getting very, very. I don't know the word. Very intriguing. There we go. Sorry, it's once again late at night. But either way, if you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part, and we will see you next episode.